Hello and welcome back to the Powered by Ground podcast. I'm Kevin Winkle. I'll be hosting today. David Kornienko is out in the field doing amazing stuff. I have a special guest today that I'm going to bring on in just a minute who's going to give us a little bit of insight into the world of finance behind new construction and behind the real estate industry. In some ways, we're going to revolutionize that. And as always, we are always bringing you the content that is for education for brokers and other people that are working in the new construction space. So there's a lot of new construction. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of shifts. So I'm going to bring on my guest right now to chat about that with us. This here with us today is Jenny. Say hello to everybody, Jenny.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Jenny is with us today. She works with US Bank, but in a much larger capacity than what it is that most of us understand so far, especially those of us just starting to work in the residential space. So, Jenny, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your role with the company and your role sort of in the greater industry?
Yes, Kevin, so nice to be here with you today. Thank you for this opportunity to get to know everyone. My name is Jenny Yeun. I am the producing sales manager for US Bank in the state of Oregon. I lead a team of mortgage loan officers in the state and also manage my own book of business. My priorities are revolutionizing the real estate money space, right? That focusing on interest rate only doesn't make sense anymore. I'm here to help anyone with any questions that are real estate lending related. And we have a team to answer any questions that you have.
Well, here's a question for you. Let's dig right in. When you talk about revolutionizing the real estate money space, what does that look like? What does that mean to you?
For example, back in the day, so I started in this business back in 2003. I've been doing it about 22 years, right? Nobody's counting. So I am kind of legal in the business. Back in the days, buying a house, it's all about payment and also how do I buy my first house so I don't have to pay my landlord's mortgage anymore. But nowadays, there are so many different areas of real estate, such as building and developing anywhere in the US. Working for US Bank, I am able to write loans in all 50 states. Therefore, if one market is down, there's not much activity, I can help my partners find solutions in other areas of the US to create opportunities among each other. And I think money is the key to any real estate project. And my job is to help my partners find money to accomplish their end game.
Okay. And what does that look like sometimes? Is that like working with private money lenders, with private investors? Are you connecting with other banks? Like what does that really mean?
That's an excellent question. I'm a people person. My job every day is to meet minimum 1 to 2 new contacts a day. For example, just because I'm not able to help a client achieve their goals doesn't mean I do not have someone that I can make the introduction to help the investors figure it out. I'm going to use the most recent example. This morning, I
Mhm.
was on a call with a highly successful entrepreneur in the Vancouver market. He runs a successful $30 million company on his own, nothing that is real estate related. He was introduced to me by a trusted advisor of his. And he said, Jenny, I would like to learn how to become a mini developer. I said, I can help you. So I did a quick summary of his financial statement, and I was able to discover that he can actually leverage the properties that he currently has to get funding to
Mm,
start his first couple projects. Everybody has to start somewhere. And when we are looking at spec financing, you have to have a proven track record. But how do you get a proven track record for your first project? So self-funding and or being connected to private money. I have those resources. Again, it's because I am calling new contacts every day to get to know them and see how we can partner together.
ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, what advice would you give maybe to to an agent who has a client somewhat like that wants to either develop on their property, say they've got like an old house, they want to knock it down and put up a fourplex. In that kind of situation, what advice would you give? What would you do?
What I would do is I would love the opportunity to have a tailored consultation with both
Mm,
the agent and the agent's client, because there is no one size fits all financing in
mm,
today's market. Each client is different, and at different times of the client's financial journey, things can change. So I highly recommend that anyone looking to develop, go ahead and keep a updated personal financial statement, which I'm happy to share with you, Kevin. Have
mm.
an ongoing financial statement at all given time so they know exactly how to leverage any portion of the finances. Because it's all about leveraging, right? If
It
everybody
is.
has $1 billion, nobody has $1 billion sitting around. But what they have is different assets that they can leverage. And it's my job to review the personal financial statement and discover opportunity for leveraging, whether through
Yeah.
US Bank or through a trusted contact of my advisors. I'll find a way, I'll provide solutions or recommendations.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's really good advice. I haven't really heard many people say that specifically, having that personal financial statement and really having a clear picture. So that's a huge takeaway for me, is really have a good eye on your finances and know where they're at. We all think we know where they're at, but how many of us have just like a PDF saved in our Google Drive that shows our personal financial statement? Like, probably not a lot of us. So a lot of people talk about the houses, but it takes a while before they're really willing to have that come to Jesus moment with their finances and really talk about like what's going on. So yeah, that's excellent advice. Excellent advice. Thank you for sharing that. And agents out there, like take note of that and make sure you talk with your investor clients about that. The people who want to invest, they really need to have a clear understanding and picture of where they are so that we can help. Really, totally. Um, Jenny, if so, I know of some people who want to like invest as a group, right? Say there's several little investor groups in town, and people want to come together to maybe build some more of the infill housing, right? There's a lot of ADU being built right now. There's a lot of old homes getting knocked down to put in fourplexes, and there's a lot happening in that four homes and below residential. Are you seeing any changes in, like, more people are coming together to co-buy or to go in on these types of deals, like smaller syndication type deals, or what are you really seeing happening out there?
I do get a lot of calls on exactly what you have described, is the
Mm,
developing within the infield. Now, again, back to have must have a proven track record of being able to develop. So a lot of those investors, what we are doing is I am helping them put the money together, right? Under $2 million project is one of the most popular projects right now because it actually pencils out for everyone. If you have four investors together, each person has to pull together 500,000. That's pretty easy to do. And again, each scenario is different, each client is different. I would love to have a tailored consultation with anyone who is interested. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime so I can have
oh,
a tailored
definitely.
discussion.
Yeah, definitely. I know I will, for one. I plan to have a conversation like that with you. I'm seeing a lot more people co-buying, like a lot. Brother and sister now in
Yep.
their 50s. They're like, "Oh, let's just co-buy." But instead of let's fit the two of us and see which one gets the grown-ups room, let's build something, or let's change it. So people are looking for more types of options, especially in multi-generational living. We haven't developed much of that as far as inventory goes, but there's a huge need for it now. So many more people having their aging relatives, having their parents move in, or needing to build a mother-in-law suite. So that's a lot of individual opportunities. Do you guys work more with individual homeowners as opposed to businesses, or do you do much in the commercial space at your branch as well?
So I have my commercial partners within US Bank that I loop in to assist with the solutions.
Mm,
My business line is residential only.
okay.
However, US Bank is one US Bank. So if there's a way to get it done, I loop in my trusted partner from the commercial banking to come in as a team to help clients anywhere, whether they are a first time developer on their own second home all the way to multi-million dollar, even billion-dollar projects. I will find a way for the client.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. So you're like the network hub. I get it. That's cool. That's really cool. And I don't see that as much from other people. That's not something I would expect from a company like US Bank. It's something I would expect from like a local bank trying to network and be a little bit more scrappy, but that's a pretty big axe to swing that you got there. So that's awesome. That's
I'm
really cool.
very blessed because I think I'm a people person at heart. And yes, US Bank is number 5 in size as far as depository dollar goes, but I am able to create my culture of run the business like you are in a small town where you're going to come
Mm,
in to the grocery store and run into your clients, or you got to be very boots on the ground to do the perfect thing for every single transaction, handle with care. I'm from a
yeah,
small town myself, so I get the small town business more than just a handshake is under promise and over deliver. That's my
right.
goal within my team.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It really sounds like it. Well, it's so interesting to me. It's just fascinating the culture that you're able to create and craft, as well as what US Bank itself is doing. Just being open to that. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people they've had their hands tied and not be able to
I
network in the way that
love
you do.
US Bank. I've worked for other financial institution, and US Bank is the only place where I'm able to create my own culture here. And we have such amazing leadership that kind of fuels me to do what is best in my local market. Very blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've heard about some other kind of cool stuff that you guys have been up to. We've been speaking recently, and on the podcast, Jasmine Torres has joined us a couple of times from Simplicity by Hayden Homes, and she's got some videos up with David. She and I just shot one last week, and and you guys came in and talked a little bit about a project that you did together for a client, and their cost per square foot was actually shockingly low, if you ask me, for what it was. Can you talk a little bit about those kind of projects? Maybe walk agents through and what they might need to know to get that going with you.
Absolutely. Speaking of simplicity and US Bank, Jasmine and I are hosting a first annual Build event. And I would love to introduce Jasmine to any agent that they would like to learn more about how they can partner together. We are
Mhm.
hosting a winery event next Thursday. I'll get the invite to you, Kevin.
Okay.
David is coming with his team. What we are doing is so our particular example that we're closing, client owns the land already, built on your own land. So the equity of the land can come in as the down payment of the construction loan. And clients do not have to come in with any money. And because the cost to build, oh, I know, right?
What?
What a concept. What
Hold
a
on.
concept. No money to
So
close?
they can use the equity on their own land, which if they've owned it for more than 5, 7 years, we know they got
No,
equity.
1 year, 12 months.
Right. Right. Yeah. So, well, I mean, with the market the way it's been, it's sort of plateaued a little bit. Our appreciation hasn't quite been where we want it. But if they've had the property for a while and there's a little bit of equity in there, then they can use that equity as the down payment for the construction loan and not have to
Correct.
come out of pocket like a madman. That is amazing.
And here's the beauty. You ready for this, Kevin? We need as little as 10% equity. on the construction loan. This is unheard of.
Oh,
US Bank has
wow.
been doing construction loans for a long time.
That's a
We
10.
work by referral. So it's like the best kept secret in the industry that we don't advertise on billboards or radio or social
Yeah.
media, but we truly have the best in class construction lending and or land loan. Somebody want to purchase a piece of dirt undeveloped, we're
Mhm.
happy to come in and do the financing for the individual. One of the transactions that I closed
Mm,
was actually a side of a mountain a few years ago. The client had this vision near Northern California. I was able to help her
mm.
purchase 20 acres on a side of a mountain with 2 home sites to develop on. And I'll be doing the construction loan down the road.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Let me just pause. Hold on a second. You said 10% equity on construction loans. And is that like if they were to come in the door cold, do you do the one-time close construction loan thing where it's like 10% of the cost of the whole project and it deals with the land acquisition and all the steps through it? Or do you guys have products like that? Or does it get more complicated?
Absolutely. So, one time close construction loan. That is what we do best. For example, Kevin, I'm going to use you as an example.
Okay.
Okay. You have identified 2 acres in the perfect part of the city, anywhere. Okay. $200,000 for the land. And you would like to build a house using Simplicity Homes or anyone you like. The cost to build is say 500,000. Okay. So the acquisition cost is now 700,000.
Hmm.
We only need 10% of that to come in, 70,000 to develop a $700,000 project.
Oh, wow. That's that's
No
crazy.
mortgage insurance on the loan.
Okay. Okay.
Interest only during the construction period. Okay. We will allow up to 24 months to build your house. At
Oh,
the end of the project, it turns into a fully amortized mortgage. It's not a balloon. You do not need to refinance into a regular mortgage because it becomes a regular mortgage. Now, I want to share a beautiful story during COVID. I
okay.
was working with a Nike executive down in the Lake Oswego area. He purchased the land for 500,000. He did a $1.3 million build, okay? All in $1.8 million. We helped him build a house. I was able to provide him with a construction loan, interest only in the 2%. Okay. During the build, at the end of the build, Nike did a little right sizing. He lost his job, had to relocate to Texas. He puts the house on the market. He was able to sell it for $1 million more.
Wow.
He loves me, right? By able
Yeah.
to help him make $1 million outside of his Nike W-2.
Wow.
Just by building a house, knowing the opportunity. He still
Yeah.
calls me every few months. And I explained to him, we're not going to find another opportunity like that. Yes, I help you make $1 million during that project. That is a once in a lifetime project. And we did not even plan to do that. His plan was to build a beautiful home for him and his wife in Lake Oswego. And
Right.
he spent, under $2 million, but he sold it for close to 3 million when it was done. It was a 12 months project.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, right?
Wow. Yeah, that's that's incredible. That's incredible.
He he trusted me from day number 1. I walked him through how this was going to go. So what I did for him was I gave him a loan for the $500,000 portion of the land acquisition first,
Okay.
right? And then he identified a builder. We built. When we were done, he walked away with $1 million. He called me during tax time and told me how much capital gain he had to pay. And I said, that's a first world problem. I help you
Mm.
make $1 million and you're going to pay a little bit of capital gains. But still, that's a winning story.
That's yeah, that's that's a huge one. That's a huge one. It really shows the power of development and the power that we're always talking about that's powered by ground. I mean, when you have the ability to just develop something from the ground up, it's immediate equity right out the gate, right out the other side. I mean, he could have moved in and got it appraised and been sitting on $1 million of additional equity. And that's great. That is really good. But leverage, right? It's better to not sit on equity. It's better to
Leverage.
leverage. It's the second rule of real estate, right behind location. It is all about that leverage. And like just how amazing. We don't hear those stories a lot. A lot of people talk about how they went and bought a house and painted it and put in a carpet and made 20 grand on the other side. But this is real big numbers, like really
Right?
big numbers. And that's not a very long time to develop. I mean, well, I guess it depends. 12 months, probably most of that was waiting on the city for permits. Let's be honest. But
Right, right.
yeah, that's pretty quick development. And I even heard Hayden, they can develop in like 90 days. They can pour for whatever reason, they can do foundations in the wintertime here. So that's it's pretty incredible. So just to know that there's the financial ability to create any of these kind of projects, I would highly encourage agents out there to help your clients dream a little bigger, help them see a little bit bigger of a picture. Because right now, if they've got a 1 acre lot that now they can split in half, they have a half an acre that they have just equity on. And if the equity on that property can build everything for you, then, well, they're fools not to do it, really. So I highly encourage folks to get in touch, reach out to Jenny, or the contact information will be in the description below this video. And we'll make sure to get in touch, and I will as well. Jenny, is there anything else or actually, I did want to kind of ask one thing of you. I want to get your insider pulse on the market. I know that we are seeing one of the weirdest markets ever, and it's both wonderful and terrible at the same time. And so I would love to hear what it is that you're seeing from your standpoint with your B2B clients and with your whole network, what you're building. What's the trends? What do you see coming?
Real estate is a very important part of any market, right? Clients, they have to have a place to live. Housing is a hot topic for everyone. Therefore, real estate will always be thriving depending on how you look at it. I have been very blessed to stay busy because I work with clients to come up with solution. It's as simple as a renter no longer want to pay the landlord's mortgage anymore, right? To a client who would like to leverage his network across the US to purchase homes across the US. And again, because the fact that I'm able to help clients in all 50 states, I am able to identify and partner clients up with the professionals in the area. I actually just had my record quarter in 2025. Very,
Wow.
very blessed just through my ability to help clients think bigger, right? Don't worry about the mortgage interest rate. If
Yeah.
anyone who only concerned about mortgage interest rate, it's because they don't understand what's behind real estate. Mortgage
Mm.
rate is somewhat irrelevant because I feel like interest rate will continue to move. Just like we had the 2% interest rate, we did not stay in the 2% forever. As of
Yeah.
right now, we are not going to stay in the 6, 7, 8, 9% forever either. So if there's an opportunity, let's talk. Let's talk about your goal and your end game. And that's usually how I'm able to help clients identify an opportunity for another purchase and or sale. And I drive any opportunity back to the agents. Say a client come to me and they don't have an agent that they trust and or work with, I would then partner up with agents that I know to get the best fit, right? Because
Yeah.
people will do business with people that they like. Doesn't matter
Sure.
how amazing that they say they are. At the end of the day, if someone like you, they will do business with you. And that's one of the key core value that I stick with is if my clients are not a good fit, I will make sure I'm going to help them find a better fit for them. And they will do business together. Tons of opportunities. Love to have a tailored discussion with anyone who would like a one-on-one 30-minute one-on-one. So, yes.
That is such a valuable invitation. I will personally take you up on that, and I really highly encourage others as well, because what you're really proving here, beyond shadow of a doubt, is regardless of headlines, regardless of what people want to say is or is not going on in the market, there is always opportunity. I mean, you just set your record, right?
Tons.
This last year, I've had an excellent year as well. I've already doubled last year, and it's a good thing. There's things absolutely moving, and I really see it. And you're a further example of this. It's moving so much into a skills-based market where agents need to have a full understanding of what those opportunities are, what they can be, what kind of leverage you can create with what, in order to really share with their clients the full opportunities that are out there. So, and they're there. And here's one we found, and it's not advertised. A 10% equity on construction. Shut the front door. And not advertised. So again, skills, networking, making sure that you talk to people and are learning and educating. I've been around the industry for well over a decade, and this is the first I've heard of one of those. I was in construction before, right? Before I started this, I was overglorified handyman, general contractor. We did a little bit of everything, but not a whole lot of any one thing. So I've seen a little bit of all the different areas of how people go about renovating their house, because they would call Kevin. I'd come in with a hammer, and I'd hear about what they had to go through to get the money to do the renovation, and they do this and they do that, and they just weren't they were not really fully aware of all of the products that are out there. I can think back through the years of a whole bunch of people that would have benefited massively, knowing that they could, have a boundary adjustment on their lot, then take that other lot and use that as the down payment to build something on it. Like, that's when your land builds stuff on its own without you even having to come out of pocket, except for the boundary exception. What? Or the boundary adjustment, or to split it into two. That's huge. That's just like the smallest level, and I see that your network goes way bigger than that, on up to and including building neighborhoods and dealing with commercial and all that. So thank you so much for your time. I know it's extremely valuable, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time to connect with us today. Before we leave, is there anything that you would like to leave the agents with? Anything you'd like to say to folks out there?
I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to share the time together. I am grateful and blessed to know you, Kevin.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love everything you are doing in the industry. And guys, we are all friends. Let's all, create business success together and be there for each other in the good, bad, and the ugly, because not everything is pretty all the time. Let's stick together and educate and learn together. I am a student of life. I learn something every day, something new every day. So,
Oh, absolutely love that. That is a fabulous place to leave it today. That's totally right. We are stronger together. We're in this together. If you're watching this right now and you're trying to get tapped in and understand more about new construction and how you can better serve your clients and really build a better future for all of us, it's together. It's through collaboration over competition, and it's from coming from a place of abundance, and hey, we've got this knowledge and information. We'll help you, you help us. We're going to help each other, and we're going to get it done in the end. So thank you everybody so much for joining us today on the Powered by Ground podcast. Make sure you tune in. There will be more coming your way soon. All right, take care. We'll see you in the next one.